Now, once again, Raymond Arroyo.
Welcome back. My next guest is the president of the Catholic League, and for 20 years, he's been a participant in the St. Patrick's Day Parade in New York. Tonight, he joins us to discuss the controversial decision by parade organizers to allow a gay group to march in the vaunted Catholic parade. Cardinal Timothy Dolan, the Grand Marshal of this year's parade, has called it a wise decision. Joining us to discuss it all and to announce some news from Manhattan is Bill Donohue. Bill, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, Ray.
Now, you were informed of this decision to allow a particular, just one gay group out at NBC Universal to march in this year's St. Patrick's Day Parade. Now, I assume they wanted your support early on, and you conditionally gave it to them. What happened?
That's correct. I said, listen, if you want to have one gay group, I didn't know it was actually from NBC, but it wouldn't have mattered. I assumed it would be a responsible group. I said, if you want to have a gay group, you have to do one major thing, though, before you get me on board, and that is this. For 20 years, I have been the most vocal defender of the rules of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, which said nobody can march as a gay person under their own banner, because that's drawing attention to your own cause, but you're free to march as a gay. I've also said, which is the rule, if you're a pro-life Catholic, while you can march just as a gay person can, you cannot march under your own banner in your own unit, because then you're drawing attention to your cause and not the cause of St. Patrick. I thought it was very easy to defend. So they said, what about a gay group? I said, well, yeah, provided that you have a formal revision of your rules. Is that, in fact, the case? They said yes. And I said, so that means that a pro-life group will also be chosen to march? They said yes. I said, under those conditions, and given that Cardinal Dolan is the Grand Marshal, you have my blessing. Then I found out after that I was double-crossed.
So what happened? What happened between that time and what is your response now, which is making news everywhere?
Well, here's essentially what happened. They invited a gay group, but they never invited a pro-life group in. Mm-hmm. And what they're saying is that we never got any applications from a pro-life group. They never got an application from a gay group. The gay group was handpicked selectively by people on the parade committee, John Leahy in particular, who's the president of Quinnipiac University. Mm-hmm. He's basically taken over the parade. John Dunleavy is the titular head of the parade and a very good man. But Leahy, who's next in line to take over from Dunleavy, is essentially taken over. He's been an advocate of gay groups in the parade all along. You know, if you wanted a gay group, they should have chosen Courage, which is a practicing Catholic gay group trying to be faithful to the church's teachings. They did reach out to them. They didn't want to be a part of this, so they chose the NBC thing. Okay, fine. Now you've got a situation where they're saying that, well, there are no pro-life applications. However, they did say, William O'Reilly, which is the parade spokesman, he did say to the Wall Street Journal just last week, oh no, a pro-life group will be marching because the Wall Street Journal pressed them, because that's been my demand. You have to have a pro-life group there if you're going to have a gay group in there. He said there would be one. Now they pulled the rug on that. And by the way, Leahy overrode O'Reilly, who said there'll be no new gay groups in 2015, just the NBC one.
Well, why
Leahy
just,
last Wednesday night.
Bill, let's stop there for a second. Why,
Leahy said there'll be more of them.
Why did this out NBC Universal group, why are they the only gay group that was allowed to march? Why the NBC carve-out? Did it have something to do with the fact that NBC owns the rights to broadcast this parade?
NBC had threatened to pull the televised version, the live version of the parade, unless the gays got in. They're going to tell you differently. Believe me, I have proof of this. I'm not going to go any further. I have proof of this. All right? There was a fix was in. Now, the chief revenue officer of NBC is Francis X. Comerford. He's on the parade committee. He's a former Grand Marshal. Leahy's a former Grand Marshal. He's the vice chairman of the parade. So there's a lot of money at stake, both for NBC and for the parade. So what happens is NBC decides, okay, what we'll do is we'll handpick our own gay group right in NBC. The gay groups in New York City, and I'm on their side, ironically, and they're on my side on this issue, they're saying, wait a minute, we never got a shot at it. How come the cherry picking is taking place? And they're saying, well, we don't know how this took place. Of course, we all know how it took place. NBC runs the parade. NBC televises it. NBC is a parade guy on their board, and they arranged for this thing to go down. But more importantly to me is that they're actually going to have a non-Catholic, non-Irish gay group march from NBC in the NBC televised parade, but they're not going to have a pro-life Catholic group march, which means they never really did formally revise the rules. I was lied to about that. I was told that I'm going to be apprised of everything, all the phone calls that I was going to get from this guy O'Reilly to keep me up to date. They never came through. I had to find out from the secular media what their initial statement was. They kept revising their statements, always directed toward gays. There's a gay obsession there, okay? Now, I'm simply saying, you know, what it comes down to is this. It's my integrity or just fall on the sword. For what? Guys who have lost it? No. My mission is to defend the Catholic League. It's not to defend the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
So what are you doing? Because you've long been a defender of the St. Patrick's Day Parade. So what are you doing this year? Are you marching in the parade?
I pulled the unit. It's over. There's no way. I can't compromise on something like this. They actually said, this guy Leahy the other night, that was the final straw. The question was put to him, well, Donohue said there's got to be a pro-life group. Is there going to be one? He goes, no, that's over. That's out. That's not going to happen. O'Reilly said the same thing. In other words, I was lied to. I was manipulated. I was used. Look, I know the reputation I got, and it's true. I'm the pit bull. Okay, I go out there and I do the dirty work that nobody else wants to do. But you know what? I'm not somebody's fool. I'm not going to be used by somebody to help them out for 20 years, and then all of a sudden now these elite guys come along, the money boys within the Irish Parade Committee. And I want to stress, it's not the top guy. John Donohue has been used just the way I've been used on this whole thing.
Bill,
given
all of this, given what seems to be corporate pressure coming to bear, groups that, on the surface it would appear, do not support church teaching, can one still call this a Catholic parade?
I don't know. I'll tell you what bothers me the greatest is that Brendan Fay is a former official of Dignity, which is against the Catholic Church teachings. It's a gay group against the Catholic Church teachings. And Brendan Fay had, when he was involved in Dignity, the chaplain to Dignity was Paul Shanley, the most notorious child rapist priest in American history, an absolute disgrace of a man. Dignity USA was against lighting up the towers in the Empire State Building for Mother Teresa. They were furious that Cardinal Dolan was elevated to the president of the USCCB. Now Leahy, who's effectively running the parade and will take over formally in another year, he said that he was enthusiastic about working with Brendan Fay. So he doesn't want to work with Bill Donohue. He doesn't want to work with pro-life Catholics. He wants to work with Brendan Fay, who runs the anti-Catholic gay parade out of Queens. I mean, you can't make this up. I mean, these boys had better go back to square one. And I guess they thought I would shut up. Maybe they don't know who I am.
Well, now they know, Bill. And one of the Cardinals' participation, Bill, I have gotten scads of emails since last week's show, phone calls inundating us. Why would the Cardinal agree to be part of this as the Grand Marshal of this parade?
Cardinal Dolan has been consistent for years. He says that the image of the Catholic Church as the scold, as the naysayer, is something we got to get rid of. We have to be more welcoming. Cardinal Dolan is not about to change the teachings of the Catholic Church on any of these issues with gays. He's simply saying we need to have a more welcoming face. That's fine with me. And I guess he said, listen, as long as we have a responsible gay group in there and it's not my parade, you know, I can live with that. I lived with it. I got on board with him. I said, yes, you're going to have this one gay group and I was promised you'll have a pro-life group, then that's okay. But you see, Dolan wasn't around for 20 years defending this group on the basis of, yes, you can't have a gay group any more than you can have a pro-life group. So when they said you can have a gay group, I said, where's the pro-life group? There will be one, Bill. Then they turned around and they said, there's not going to be one. So I think Dolan is in a little bit different situation than what I'm in. They double-crossed me.
Yeah. You launched a boycott of Guinness last year after it pulled its sponsorship, presumably to pressure organizers to allow gays to march in the parade. What is the state of that boycott now? Where does it stand?
Well, I was a little bit confused over the last week or two because I was trying to figure out where these guys are going in the parade committee. But right now, as far as I'm concerned, they used corporate pressure. They bullied. They came in at the 11th hour. They made all the guys buy all their stout, and then they effectively turned around and gave it to them. So as far as I'm concerned, I want that boycott to continue. I know we've hurt them. How do I know that? Because we've got the numbers. We've done our survey. I wasn't expecting to crush them, but I know what's been happening. A lot of bar owners are bringing in Murphy Stout and selling it at less price than Guinness Stout, so it's been chipping away at them. Next week is the halfway 6 months out from St. Patrick's Day parade, so I'll reissue the call there. They're no good. The Ford Motor Company was wavering too, and they give $100,000 a year to the parade. So a lot of these people are ganging up. And you can also thank our wonderful mayor here in New York City, Bill de Blasio, who resurrected this whole idea of boycotting the parade. And by the way, by getting the gay unit in, you would have thought that Guinness and de Blasio would come back. No, the boneheads who run this parade, they're coming out now. They're looking really stupid because de Blasio says, I'm not back. Guinness says, we're not back. We want to wait and see. So they want to turn it into a gay parade. That's basically what they want to do, okay? And if you get Brendan Fay involved, then it will become a gay parade. So I'm very happy with my decision. I agonized over it for a couple of days, but when they finally came out and said there is no pro-life group that will march in 2015, that actually made my decision very easy.
Bill Donohue, before I let you go, what is your over-under? Does Cardinal Dolan bow out of the parade due to the reaction of Catholics all over the country?
I don't know, but I think that he has to and will talk to these people who haven't been on the up and up. And if you take a look at some of the media reports on this, they keep evolving. You know, if you're going to do something mischievous, at least do it in a smart way. These guys aren't even smart. Not only do I not respect them for what they've done to me, I can't even say they're smart. I used to debate a lot of people who are smart and I didn't like Christopher Hitchens. I can't even say these guys are smart. The ineptitude is stunning that they actually think they were going to get away with this.
Bill Donohue, thanks for being here. You can keep up with all the news on the St. Patrick's Day Parade and much more by visiting CatholicLeague.org.